Hey everybody, Jesse here from Zumbro Home Inspection. I'm just going over a few things that I see commonly here in Clarksville, or everywhere really. But a lot of times home inspectors will write up some deficiencies with the hot water tank installation. This is a standard Whirlpool 50-gallon hot water tank. 50 right there. Well, actually Whirlpool in the serial number, they put the year, the first two numbers. So it's a 2012 model. So it's probably installed around 2012. One thing that home inspectors always bring up, not always, I mean if it's wrong we bring it up, is this guy right here. This guy right here, he's called, says right here in the thing, the TMP valve. It's also called the TPR valve or the TPRV. It stands for temperature and pressure release valve. What this does, if you actually read the tag, it actually tells you what it does. If the tank is a runaway electric or gas tank, meaning it just keeps heating and the thermostat doesn't shut it off, and the tank gets up to 150 psi, pounds per square inch, or 210 degrees Fahrenheit, which is basically boiling, this valve actually goes back into the system about 6 inches, and it's a pressure release valve. It's spring loaded with tension for pressure and temperature, and it opens this valve and it'll release the pressure out of the tank. Now 150 psi would be about double the psi of a standard home plumbing system, so the water is going to come out extremely fast, or it may even be steam when it comes out, and it'll be up to 210 degrees Fahrenheit, which means it'll scald you obviously instantly. This pipe, when it comes from the manufacturer, or the valve, when it comes from the manufacturer, just comes like this. That's when you get it out of the box, or the plumber gets it from his supply warehouse, it comes like this. It's just the TPR valve. It's just going to be sitting right here on the side. Sometimes they're on the top of the tank. Whirlpool puts them on the side. It's up to the installation professional, the plumber, or the homeowner, if it's your own home, to install an approved pipe. What we see all too often is either no pipe at all installed, and what that means is if this was to blow because the pressure in the tank got too high, hot steaming water is going to come out of this valve at 150 psi and would injure anybody in this vicinity in the garage, or a lot of times houses, the hot water tank's mounted in a closet or something, so that's on the interior, and that's even more dangerous. So the manufacturer and the TPR valve manufacturer, they have approved materials that you're allowed to do for piping, and they're very, very specific on what you do for piping. Actually, if you read the tag right here, I'm not a code inspector. As a home inspector, I go off of the manufacturer's recommendations, which is almost always in line with code. But so actually the tags on these, they're actually like a rubbery paper. They're really hard to rip off. They're almost always on it. If you read the back of the tag, it'll explain very clearly what kind of piping you can use. It says it can't reduce in size. This is 3/4 inch pipe. So the pipe that it extends out of here has to be at least 3/4 inch, and no couplings or fittings can reduce it in size. It says no T valves. There can't be any T's. It says there can only be, typically it says only up to 4 elbows. So if you have a 90-degree elbow, like you wanted to route this down, then over and discharge it back here or over there, you can only have 4 elbows. After that, they consider it too restricted. I can't have any valves on the line that you add. The line has to be of approved material. Typically that means only CPVC, not PVC, but CPVC and copper. Some jurisdiction stuff now is allowing PEX and things like that, but it has to be approved hot water plumbing material, not just standard PVC. It's not approved for hot water. It has to be CPVC. Sometimes they sell pre-made TPRV, TMP valve extensions. Those are UL listed and approved. At some Lowe's, Home Depot, they are on the approved list of materials. But typically you're going to want to see copper pipe or CPVC, or you can even use galvanized, but you don't see that anymore. So can't have any more than 4 elbows. Can't be threaded pipe, meaning the end of the pipe, which would be right here, sorry. The end of the pipe can't have threads, and what they're trying to protect from is they're trying to protect someone from capping it just in case it starts leaking, because then it defeats the whole purpose. You can't have any threads, and it can't be reduced. All right, so let me put this one back on the way I found it. Put this guy back on. Oh no, it also has to discharge, but usually it's 6 inches above the floor with the air gap. All right. So this guy's back on exactly as I found it, and this one actually has some problems. The problem is, so this is a 3/4 inch coupling. The problem is this is reduced, and it's reduced to this actually to 1/2 inch. It discharges to a proper height above the floor in the same room. It won't, or in the garage, it'll flow out. It won't cause damage to anything. All things, that's a requirement on here. But this piping is also not labeled anywhere other than this right here. It's actually, I tried to pull the rating off of what's on there, but it didn't say anything about rating for temperature or pressure. And also it's reduced from the 3/4 down to 1/2 inch. So this technically, according to the manufacturer, would be an improper installation of the TMP extension pipe. They consider it to be too reduced. So if you have a 3/4 inch pipe discharging hot water or steaming water, and it gets reduced to 1/2 inch, the tank could still explode technically because it's been reduced. So fixing this is about $5 of proper materials. That's a very easy fix, but it's just something I find probably on 75% of homes, either no extension at all, or it's improper piping material, or it's been reduced, or there's a T-fitting or a valve, or it's ran some ridiculous place. I see it all the time. So it's an easy fix. Just literally read the data tag right there, and it tells you exactly what to do in one paragraph. All right, this is Jesse from Zumbro Home Inspection. Your Clarksville, Tennessee home inspector. If you have any questions, go ahead and let me know. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.